Yo, hello and welcome guys. Let's take a look at Bitcoin today. So Bitcoin got rejected at this liquidity level right here and is now starting to break down, moving towards the value area low of the fixed range volume profile. And this is exactly the move we were talking about. Now, as we said yesterday, the point of control here is not really a major level, so I wasn't expecting any meaningful bounce from it. And you can see that clearly now, price didn't respect it and is continuing lower. And I really hope you watched the last two videos because we pretty much predicted this move exactly. We said that Bitcoin swept the last liquidity level out of the 4 we were watching, and right at that area we had not 1, not 2, but 4 different bearish divergences flashing across multiple timeframes. So based on that, we called out a short at around 71.4 thousand US dollars with a tight stop loss just above the high. Because there was still another major level slightly above, the golden pocket, the 618 to 65 FIB zone, sitting at around 72.7 to 73,000 US dollars. And now you can see the reaction. Price is moving exactly as expected and the shorts are in profit. On Bitcoin and also on Ethereum, called right here on this channel. And by the way, if you guys are finding this helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Alright, let's get back to the video. Now the focus is on what happens as we hit this value area low around 66,000 US dollars. This is the first major area where I expect Bitcoin to potentially see some kind of a reaction. And what makes this area even more important is how we actually have another level sitting right on top of it. If we take the FIB extension and drag it from this top to the bottom of the retracement and then to the top of this bounce, you'll see that the golden pocket lines up perfectly right on top of the value area low. So again, it's not just one level, it's multiple levels lining up in the same zone, which is exactly what we want to see. Then right below that, we also have that liquidity sitting at around 65.5 thousand US dollars. So this entire area becomes very important. This is the main zone I'm watching right now. Now let me show you something else that in my opinion is pretty crazy, and honestly everyone that's bullish on Bitcoin right now might not like this. Bitcoin was trading inside this rising wedge. And as we know, rising wedges statistically have a higher probability of breaking to the downside. And with price now already moving lower, this scenario is starting to play out. If we look at the downside targets, the value area low, the golden pocket lining up with it, and the liquidity below, you'll notice that this entire zone sits outside of the rising wedge. Which means for Bitcoin to reach that area, it has to fully break down from this structure. And we've already seen this exact same thing back in January, where Bitcoin formed a similar rising wedge and broke to the downside. So this is not something new, it's a pattern we already seen play out. Now at the same time, I do still expect some kind of a bounce as we hit that zone. And if we map that out, let me show you how we get that level. If we take the FIB extension and drag it across this move, and we assume a bottom somewhere in that major zone below, you will see that the golden pocket for a potential bounce lines up almost perfectly with the bottom of this rising wedge. And that's key because if we do break down from here, the previous support could very easily turn into a resistance. So you could get a move into the value area low and liquidity, a bounce into that golden pocket and the underside of the wedge, and then a continuation lower. And if we zoom out and take the FIB extension from this top to this bottom and then to the absolute top of the wedge, you will see that the 1.618 extension still lines up perfectly with the major liquidity level around 60,000 US dollars. And on top of everything, the Elliott wave structure also lines up really clean with this idea. The move into the point of control can be seen as wave 1, followed by a move up into the liquidity as wave 2. And what we are seeing right now could be the start of wave 3 pushing down into the value area and the liquidity zone. From there we could see a wave 4 bounce into the golden pocket and the underside of the wedge, followed by a final wave 5 move into the bigger target around 60,000 US dollars. So again, the structure, the liquidity, the volume profile and the FIB levels are all pointing in the same direction. So that's my outlook on Bitcoin right now. The move is already starting to play out exactly how we talked about, and now all eyes are on the value area low around 66,000 and the liquidity just below it. If we get a reaction there, I'll be watching the bounce into the resistance. And if the bearish structure continues, the bigger target remains the major liquidity level down around 60,000 US dollars. As always, this is not a financial advice, manage your risk and don't get stuck on one bias. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.